Expect, Elita.
Thank you, Gina and Eric. Yes, the last couple mornings, that's what I've been tracking on the morning news has been those soupy conditions. One of the spots where we haven't been dealing with a lot of that fog has been down along the coastline. This is what it looked like at 7 o'clock, and then you can see any sort of haze or shallow layer of clouds began to clear out. It was a beautiful day there along the coastline. Now, when we take a look at the computer models and show you our fogcast, there is going to be some patches here and there, and a lot of that fog that set up the last couple mornings has been west of Interstate 45. That's where we anticipate some of that fog to return and then clear out by mid to late morning. So here's the next 24 hours. Temperature readings will go from the upper 70s at 7 p.m. back down into the 60s and then climb once again. We don't have rain chances in the forecast really until next week. A slim chance that we may see a spotty shower for Friday. So we'll take a look at future track and also give you the latest on those rain chances for next week coming up in my full forecast.
Very good, Elita. Thank you.
All right, we received another update from our drought report. Unfortunately, last week we already saw the drought worsen from abnormally dry to moderate, and this morning, the drought coming out, some more bad news. We're now moved past the moderate stage and now seeing severe drought popping up across the western parts of our communities, out toward Brenham, portions of the Brazos Valley, out toward Columbus, and even further west, out toward the Hill Country. And unfortunately, it's been that combination, 30 straight days without seeing any rain here locally and unseasonably hot weather. Now, thankfully, we do have some rain chances headed back in our direction, although I don't think the amount of rain that we're going to see next week is really going to help ease the drought. But we do have about a 20 to 30% chance of seeing some wet weather beginning next Wednesday and should take us into that first week of November. Some of the highest rainfall totals are going to stay well removed from the south. Majority of that rain is going to be falling where low pressure sets up somewhere across the Midwest. But as I mentioned, this is going to be the storm system that we will be tracking through early next week. There will be some pockets of heavy rain. It just doesn't look like that heavy rain or that widespread rain is going to be falling here across southeast Texas. It's going to be more scattered in nature. If you've got plans for this evening, it is looking lovely out there for you. We officially hit a high of 89 degrees today. That did not tie or break any records. Temperature readings have cooled off with that east-southeasterly breeze in the low 80s. We're in the upper 70s right now in Galveston. Not bad with that light breeze as well out of the southeast at about 10 miles per hour. Unfortunately, definitely seeing some impact, some unhealthy levels of ozone pollution. In fact, we are moved out of the unhealthy for sensitive groups and we're finding unhealthy for all groups. Northern parts of Montgomery County, some of you watching around the Piney Woods region, San Jacinto County, Walker County. So some of you may want to limit any sort of outdoor activity for the rest of the evening. Meanwhile, the air quality is looking to improve for Friday and the weekend as those winds slowly start to pick up from the Gulf, and those Gulf winds are going to limit how temperature readings fall overnight. Now, at this hour, those temperature readings are starting to fall from the daytime highs. We're at 86 now in Tomball, low 80s in Conroe, and by this evening, those overnight lows will be dipping somewhere into the upper 50s, low to mid 60s. We'll get a little bit of an easterly breeze, so that may bring in some slightly drier air, may not feel quite as sticky tomorrow morning, especially in those spots where we have that drier air in place. But there could still be some fog. It may not be as widespread as we've been looking at the last couple of mornings. Here's a look at your Friday afternoon. And not bad. This is pretty much what we've seen over the past few days or so. Temperature readings hovering somewhere in the upper 80s to low 90s. And you can see the return of some low-lying clouds and fog overnight. Maybe a sprinkle or two as that breeze starts to pick up from the Gulf. But that rain chance, unfortunately, still at 10%. The weekend is looking fantastic. A lot of you are headed out to those pumpkin patches maybe. Of course, the Texans are in town this weekend, so you're looking at temperature readings warming into the low 90s, and then heading into next week, we'll see temperatures slightly lower with those rain chances going up. Today's weather sketcher, guys.